A lot is happening in the MMO genre right now. Some good, some bad. Let's go ahead and take a look at both. Now, if this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the little bell notification. That way you remain up to date with every single thing that I post, and I post daily. Do not miss out. Ashfall, the upcoming post-apocalyptic sci-fi third-person shooter MMO from NetEase, has been delayed to the surprise of absolutely no one. This was slated to release in the third quarter of 2024, I believe. Instead of pushing this back to the fourth quarter of 2024, they decided, you know what, let's just push this back indefinitely. I mean, NetEase has what, Once Human already? This is essentially an inferior version of Once Human. Why create additional competition for a game that you already own and operate? MRSSSTIX has a dedicated video on Ashfall if you're interested. This was during the closed beta back in 2023. I'm sure the game has changed since then. To what extent, I have absolutely no idea. Blade & Soul Neo Classic has officially launched as of October 16th, 2024, supposedly. I know a lot of us are waiting for the global version of the game. Blade & Soul is a globally accessible MMO after all, yet global, like always, has just been shafted. We are a mere afterthought. Once the Korean version of Blade & Soul is no longer as lucrative for NCSoft, they are going to no doubt localize the game, release it globally to milk us for as much as they can before launching a new variant of Blade & Soul, maybe another Blade & Soul mobile game. Either way, this version of the game, Neo Classic, did actually look kind of good, so I was hoping to get my hands on this and play it. Will I? Eventually? The ArcheAge Chronicles devs, Kakao, XL Games. And ArcheAge Chronicles is the new title for ArcheAge 2. I know, it's confusing. ArcheAge Chronicles, not to be mistaken for the ArcheAge mobile games, either of them, which were both horrible and ultimately did terribly, as we all expected they would, had a dev diary posted over onto Steam that went over a lot of information. I might actually do a dedicated video on this in the next week or so. They touched on a lot of topics. I have noticed that they do seem to be across all forms of advertising referring to this as an online action RPG rather than an MMO, but then in things like this, they do say it is an MMO on Steam. They're claiming it is an MMORPG, or at the very least, MMORPG adjacent. And from the trailers we've seen, this is very much so an MMO. A few videos have been released on the game thus far over the course of the last couple weeks. It does look really good. Whether that is the case overall remains to be seen. This is an ArcheAge game, and it is published by Kakao, who are notorious for being very predatory and pay to win. Additionally, ArcheAge Chronicles is launching onto Steam, onto the Epic Games Store, so PC, onto the PS5 and the Xbox Series XS. This is not launching on a mobile, thank God. Fractured Veil has officially shut down. I heard about this. I attempted to find mention of it. I navigated on over to Twitter and saw that the entire Twitter for the game was shut down. This was literally the only article I could find mentioning it. This is a game that actually managed to raise $110,000 via Kickstarter. Evidently, they put that money to use. Shadow's Kiss has also officially gone offline. I had never ever heard of this game before, but it does look like there are, okay, surprising. It does look like there are a grand total of 9 people that are going to be disappointed that this is no longer going to be playable. Nexon have officially rolled out the newest iteration of MapleStory, titled MapleStory Worlds. This released globally on October 16th. This is not a new MapleStory game, or it's not necessarily a new MapleStory game, like MapleStory 2 was to MapleStory 1, like ArcheAge Chronicles is to ArcheAge. What this is essentially a game where you can create your own world. You can design every facet of it. Over 30 million assets. You can drag everything, you can drop it down, you can build the entire maps from the very foundation. Not only that, but they have also opened the option for you to earn from this. there is an actual financial incentive to do this. I think it was noted that there was going to be a $3,500 budget, which means that you can earn thousands of dollars potentially for creating worlds for players to play, which is very cool. Honestly, other than what this allows in terms of features, it's just MapleStory. That's it. Before we go any further, let me take a moment here to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal, and I can't thank you all enough for the support. Now let's keep talking. Throne and Liberty have officially rolled out their first major update. Highlights include the free server transfer tickets are no longer going to be available. The random dungeon finder, the group finder, is going to apparently more easily fill groups. There are bug fixes, there are localization fixes, UI fixes, and more. I see a lot of people are asking for the Halloween event. Fractured Online, which launched, I think, several months ago as a buy-to-play MMO, has done so terribly that they have decided to rebrand and go the free-to-play route. They have a roadmap. It features the first season. Apparently they are going to be going the seasonal route. I honestly don't foresee this really doing that much better as a free-to-play MMO because there are just so many better alternatives out there, but I wish them all the best nevertheless. Brighter Shores held their October closed beta test, or is going to hold a future October closed beta test. I don't know if they're holding follow-up ones, but the official release date has been confirmed for November 6th. That is a little over 2 weeks away. You'll finally be able to play. I'm actually kind of excited because this is actually a relatively polished looking and feeling MMO, and that's not something that I'm typically used to given how many crappy cash grab, free to play, like new rehashed old MMO releases there are, or MMO ports of already existing MMOs there are. Haven and Hearth has officially confirmed they are releasing onto Steam, where they plan on updating its status to early access. It seems as though the official launch date is November 1st. If you're interested in potentially playing the game, then you'll be able to. This is a, it's definitely a game. I don't know how many people are going to be interested in or who it's necessarily going to appeal to, but I mean, I'm sure it will some people. NetEase have officially rolled out the reveal trailer for Destiny Rising. And like always, they have fumbled horrifically. Why? 40% dislike ratio. People hate it. This is a mobile version of Destiny, created by NetEase. NetEase push out so many mobile versions of already existing franchises that for the majority of instances turned out absolute trash. I'm not saying this is gonna be, but it probably will be, judging by the fact that, you know, it has almost half of its total likes as dislikes. Yeah, I'm not the only one that shares this sentiment. And finally, Ares Rise of Guardians is launched in Korea, and yeah, we didn't get it. We don't have a global release. We have actually no global release date at all, not even hinted at. It was supposed to release globally in 2024 under Kakao. Kakao being Kakao, we're just like, maybe eventually we'll release this, sure. Which is a shame, because I don't think this is really gonna be that great, but at the same time, it is a cool looking new MMO that could at least be fun for an hour, maybe a couple days or a week. Hey you, where do you think you're going? Don't you close out of this tab. I didn't give you permission to do that. Sit your ass back down. Click one of the 2 videos that are gonna be on screen in just a moment and keep watching my content. Keep enjoying my content.